I had the craziest situation last night, and I simply need to come on here and tell my internet friends because it started with me almost getting hit by a car and ended with me being yelled at in the disability parking spot. So let's get into today's story. Last night, my boyfriend and I went to the gym as we do most nights of the week. We are evening workout people. So we went and I did 1 hour on the bike and we got out of the gym at like 7 p.m. So it was completely dark outside by the time we're leaving the gym. And we had parked in the disability parking spot because, hi, I'm blind. I have a pass. And parking lots are one of the most dangerous places a blind person can be navigating. So the less I have to do that, the better. And the parking lot for my gym in particular is extremely risky because if we don't park in one of the disability spots, there's no sidewalks. So I do have to walk fully through a very cramped, tight parking lot with a lot of moving vehicles. So we try to avoid it when possible. And luckily, this was one of the rare times when there was actually a disabled spot available. So we get out of the gym and my guide dog is guiding me and my partner is walking on my right side, kind of a little bit behind me, the way you're supposed to walk with a guide dog user. And my guide dog is obviously guiding me on my left-hand side. So my guide dog brings me over to the crosswalk area. Now this is a crosswalk that's within the parking lot. And so there's no audible signal, there's no lights, there's no stop sign. It's just pedestrians have the right of way. You go when it's safe to cross. So I'm standing there at the bumps. It has the truncated dome, tactile, I call it foot braille. So that's where I'm standing at the curb cut. And my partner tells me, you're good to cross. So I tell Elton, en avant, go forward. And Elton starts to trot. Keep in mind, my partner just told me it's good to cross. So there's no reason me or my guide dog would not be good. I obviously can't see a car coming. I can see headlights, but remember, I have zero peripheral vision. So when I can see light, it's only in my central vision, meaning I'm only seeing light when it's right in front of me. So walking, if a car is coming to my left, which is where cars would be pulling in, I can't see the headlights until it's too late. My guide dog can, and he went and did not stop because that's how fast and out of nowhere this car was. Out of absolutely nowhere, speeding into the parking lot comes a electric vehicle. And what are electric vehicles, blind friends? Silent. So I'm having no auditory cue that something is wrong. My guide dog is looking forward and this car comes completely out of nowhere. And all I experience is my boyfriend jump out in front of me and start yelling, stop, and waving his hands so that the driver notices him. And the car is so close. I can't even express to you. The car is so close to hitting me. And they slam on their brakes when they see my boyfriend in front of their car, waving his hands and yelling. And my boyfriend said that it was an older man driving who was just completely not paying attention and looked apologetic and waved sorry and waited. And my boyfriend grabbed my hand. So I was no longer having my guide dog guide me. He held my hand and guided me over to where our car was parked, which was 10 feet from there. So close. So I am loading Elton into the car. He's putting our gym gear in the back. And, look, I go as quick as I can. I don't dilly-dally. I'm not slow. But, I have to take my guide dog's harness off. I have to load him in. And then I have to load myself in and whatever. My boyfriend's dealing with the stuff and gets into the car. We're not taking an exceptionally long time, but I have a disability. I move a little slower than I maybe would if it was two sighted people quickly jumping in their car and pulling out. So we get into the car, turn the car on, roll the windows down because we're hot and sweaty from the gym and we want some fresh air. That is as long as we take. My boyfriend starts to back out and a car whips around from behind us, which my boyfriend thought was just navigating straight through the parking lot, did not realize this person was trying to turn in to a parking spot. But this guy whips around behind us into the parking spot on the right. So they're on my side of the door. And they have their window down and they yell to us through our open window, "You were too slow." Well, actually said, "You were too slow, brother." which is very passive aggressive. And my partner, like, we're frazzled, okay? We're in the midst of debriefing, me almost getting hit by the car still. So we're like frazzled and we're in like our own little headspace. And he was like, dude, I just turned on the car. And my partner and I are both extremely non-confrontational people. We both hate confrontation. We are peacekeepers, which is what's so lovely about our relationship, is we are like very much communicators. If there's a problem or one of us is feeling some kind of way, we like sit and we talk about it and we come up with a solution and we resolve it. We do not build things up. We do not fight. We do not yell. That is like neither of our style of communication. And I would say we are both lean towards the people pleasing side. So it is like truly like for either one of us to get a bit snappy or loud with somebody, like the threshold is high. So he's like, dude, I just turned my car on. And then my partner clocks in this moment that this guy isn't even in a parking spot. No, my friends. He, without a disability parking pass, has pulled in to the no parking dash line zone for wheelchair users to utilize with a ramp or to just have more space to transfer. So, having just realized this, my partner, again, everyone has their windows open, goes, you're not even allowed to park there. That's not even a parking spot. That is the disability parking zone. That is illegal. And then he said, well, I'm just quickly going in to grab an order. So he was like an Uber Eats driver. That sent me over. If I didn't say it, it doesn't count. It sent me over the damn edge. Like, Elton's getting upset for me. He's like, Mommy, he's okay. My partner and friends and family inform me all the time of people parking in disability parking spots without the pass. And twice recently, we've seen people park in the hash mark zone. So you could say I am very frustrated at this point. Like, this pisses me the hell off because not only do I often not get to park in a disability spot because people without passes are parked there, or we often see people just like sitting in their car with their blinkers on, like they're using it to like wait for somebody when they're picking them up or quickly picking something up. Like we see it all the time. So like I'm frustrated because I've never had the opportunity to confront somebody about it, but like it just, my frustration over this situation has compounded for like years at this point. And I'm not just frustrated for myself. I'm frustrated for all of my disabled friends. I have so many friends who are wheelchair users and need that zone. And the moment he said that he was just picking up something quickly, after my partner had already pointed out that it's illegal, it's a no park zone, and he does not have the disability pass. Like he's breaking the law 3 ways. Or breaking the law twice. It's no parking, and he doesn't have a disability pass, even if it was a parking spot. And he had the nerve to yell at us and try to start beef. So, like, I bang. My hand is out the car, and I'm banging on the side of the metal, like, so making the, like, ting, ting, ting sound. I'm, like, so upset about this. And I am like, no, you do not park in disability spots. Like, I was just so frustrated. So then he comes over. He crosses over the front of my partner's car to his window. And, like, I can hear that his voice comes lower. So it kind of ducks down a bit to the, like, window and goes, calm down, lady. I'm sorry. You had the audacity to yell at me while breaking the law in a way that affects me and my community on a daily basis. And you want me to calm down. Okay, so then he's like, I'm just running in to grab a quick pickup. Where else am I supposed to park? And my boyfriend was just like, somewhere where it's not illegal. That's where. And then we pulled up our window and we left. Because at this point, listen, as I stated, we're not confrontational people. It is not unheard of for road rage to escalate to violence. So he had already come around our car into my boyfriend's window and like ducked down to our level and has been like, calm down, lady. Like he's not backing down despite us pointing out that he is in the wrong. He's like standing 10 toes down on business. So we're at this point, like, we're not going to keep engaging. Like, we've done as much as we feel confident or we feel like safe doing and comfortable. So my boyfriend pulls out, which he was already half out the spot. So he like continues to pull out and like we drive. We have to loop around. Again, this parking lot is so problematic. The way you have to get out, we have to like basically like loop back around and out to that same entrance that the guy came in that he almost hit me. So we loop around, and now my boyfriend's driving on like the other side of the aisle where he can still see the other cars. And he's like, if he hasn't moved, I'm going to like let security or valet know. Like if he's still in that spot and I see it, I'm just going to let them know. And we pull up and we see him and he is still in the spot. In the hash marks. He didn't even like shift his car over to be in the actual disability spot that we had been in. He was still in the hash marks. And just sitting in his car. So he'd obviously run in by that point, grabbed the order, and is now sitting in the car getting ready to leave. Not leave to reposition, leave because he got the order. So he just completely ignored us and continued to do something illegal. And it's like, for me, that is just utterly selfish. So utterly selfish. And I say this every time we see people doing things like this. It is so incredibly selfish, and just, I can only imagine that their thought process is, well, it's just 10 minutes. A disabled person won't show up. Well, I'm just waiting to pick my friend up, but like a disabled person won't need it in that amount of time. As if we disabled people don't live life as much as everybody else. As if we aren't showing up at any moment to a parking lot looking for a spot like anybody else. And it just drives me nuts. It's like they think we only go out certain hours of the day, or like it won't. What is the likelihood that those rare disabled people, well, if we're so rare, why are the spots always goddamn full? 1 in 4 Americans live with a disability, so we're not that rare. And obviously, not all 1 in 4 of those require a disability parking pass. There is like parameters around what disabilities have access to getting one of the passes. Although in LA, there is actually a rampant issue of like black market passes, like people buy fake passes or misuse family members' passes. It's a whole issue. That's, again, on your moral conscience. If you do that, like the most selfish freaking thing you can do is take those spots from people who genuinely need them and benefit from them, and makes their daily life that is already harder than yours a little touch bit easier. Like, how do you live with yourself? I don't know. Couldn't be me. But anyways, so we pull around, we see that. But of course, then there's no valet guys around and there's no security guard. And so we were like, screw it. We're leaving. And then what happens? We try to pull out of the parking lot, and there's almost a crash in front of us because the car that's beside us, like we're exiting and turning right, and they're exiting and turning left into oncoming traffic. Like they have to cross over, and they go at the wrong time. Like there is an oncoming car coming that they are trying to like beat, and there's almost a crash. So all within the span of literally like 60 seconds. Obviously, I'm telling this as like a freaking 20-minute story because I can't shut up, but this all happened in the span of 60 seconds. My nerves were shot. I was like, get us home. I am not leaving the house for the rest of the day, and pour me a glass of rosé. Please and thank you. And then I FaceTimed my parents and I did this exact rant for them that I've done for you. I had to get it out of my system. So yeah, that was our crazy situation. Being blind is never boring, never a dull moment in the life of a blind girl. And it's so funny that like the fact that we were in that disability parking spot and I still almost got hit perfectly exemplifies why blind people qualify for those spots, because it is so freaking dangerous being in parking lots when you can't see. Even with my guide dog, because my guide dog didn't even have time to respond. It was, the car speeded that quickly, and that's how close the crosswalk is to the entrance of this parking lot. So all in all, what an experience. There's no moral of this story. Just wanted to share some fun drama for your pleasure. And until next time, if you want another one of my story times, you can click over here to hear how my boyfriend and I met. Yes, the title is true. I am, in fact, dating one of my subscribers. Ooh. Or you can click over here to hear me do another rant about disability parking spots, because I've done one. It's a frequent irritant. Okay, see you next time. Bye.